When you're looking for KitchenAid innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, we'll help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified KitchenAid appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
At 2020 Optometric, your vision is their focus. Whether you're 5 or 65, Dr. Thomas Casagrande will get to know you, your lifestyle, and vision needs to ensure that your contacts or eyeglasses are a perfect fit and the right prescription every time. With the Valley's largest selection of eyewear, 2020 has over 2,000 frames, including top designer brands like Coach, Tiffany, Prada, Ray-Ban, Oakley, and more. Eye exams start as low as $89, so call or stop by to schedule your appointment today. Hi, I'm John Mallows. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this Friday morning. It is the Friday before Christmas, of course, 1 week away now. Hey, today we have a special guest in the studio talking about this book. It's a pictorial journey of Armenia. She just came back from a recent trip there to Armenia. She'll tell us all about it. We'll talk about the Armenian genocide and what it has meant this past year, 2015, the 100th anniversary. We have open phone lines at 436-ME-TV, option 11. We're back with our Friday version of Connect with Me in just a moment.
Tonight I want to discuss the importance of the television medium to the American people.
Back here on the program on this Friday morning on the showroom floor at Ventura TV. I'm so glad you are here. 2015, of course, is almost over. And, of course, this past year, a lot happened, of course, with the terrorism that has gone on across not only the world but the country. We'll talk a little bit about that. And also, we commemorated the 100th anniversary of the Armenian genocide. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. And so I want to give a couple of programming notes here. I kind of misspoke yesterday about the show on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, here's the deal. On Monday, we have Bradley Hart here. He's the younger and the better looking of the Harts, okay? And he's probably more knowledgeable. Anyway, Bradley will be here to talk about the presidential campaign. You like that? Anyway, Bradley will be here on Monday to talk about the presidential campaign. He is a professor at Fresno State, a political professor. He knows all about this stuff. He's traveled abroad. And he knows what's going on inside these races. Also on Tuesday, we have a special program, Christmas Tree Lane out in Clovis, okay? We'll have those folks on Tuesday. And then Ron Saul, the owner of the range, or former owner, whatever you want to call him, will be here on Wednesday to talk about what to do in an active shooter situation. What would you do? How would you react if you had a concealed weapons permit? So that's on Wednesday. And then, of course, on Thursday and Friday, we have tape shows because it's Christmas Eve and Christmas. So that's what's going on for next week. Now, as far as today is concerned, you're watching us live, as usual, Comcast Channel 375, Xfinity. And we want to wish everybody at Comcast Cable TV, our partners over there, a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, and thanks for our partnership to Comcast Cable TV. If you don't have cable, you can watch us over the air broadcast at 43.6 and 13.1. Replay comes later in the day, though, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That would be 13.6 YouTube and 8 o'clock tonight, 4.6 Biz TV. And the Twitter account is exactly the same. It is at John Mallows Me TV. How about the weather? It's the same, too. It hasn't changed the last few days, although I think we're getting rain sometime tomorrow. I'm not sure. Austin Reed of the Justice Network is here to tell us about what the weather breakdown is going to be for the rest of this day.
Hello there, John, and good morning, everyone. Austin Reed checking in from the First Alert No Wait Weather Center. Happy Friday to you. We have made it to the end of the work week. This morning, we woke up to sunshine all across Central California, and it was a bit warmer. We're not in the freezing mark anymore like we have been the last couple of mornings. And today, it's going to be a beautiful day weather-wise, especially for a Friday. We like that. Here's your First Alert No Wait weather forecast for this 18th of December, 2015. We are getting closer to the 60-degree mark, and it's December. Can you believe that? 58 for a high in Fresno. Sunny skies. Tonight it will be clear but chilly. 38 for your low. Humidity today right at the 50% mark. Don't get used to this kind of weather because we have a big storm coming in from the northwest that will drop down to Central California. When will it hit? I'll detail it all tonight in your No Wait weather forecast on the Ventura Broadcasting Company and, of course, this station, MeTV Fresno. I'll see you tonight between 6 and 10. For now, I'm Austin Reed in the First Alert No Wait Weather Center. Enjoy the sunshine today. Have a great weekend. John, I'll talk to you again next week.
Okay, and there's your graphic, my friends. Monday through Friday, you can catch Austin Reed on the Justice Network. He'll give you the weather updates, all part of the Ventura Broadcasting family, starting at 6 o'clock weeknights here on Ventura Broadcasting Company television networks. And we are MeTV, of course. Connect with me on MeTV. Let's get to the main topic of our program today, and it's about this book. I'm going to hold this up. It's Armenia, A Pictorial Journey by Jane Kardashian. Here is the book right here. We'll ask her, wait a minute, the book is right there, just like that. And so we'll ask her about where this book can be purchased, where you can buy it, what the book is all about. We'll show you some pictures here. It's a beautiful book. I've had this for a while and I've gone through it several times. It is a beautiful masterpiece here that you can put out on your coffee table. But I want to talk about the Armenian genocide first. Of course, this past year we commemorated the 100th anniversary of the genocide. I want to roll the videotape and show you exactly what I'm talking about. It was 100 years ago that the Turks that occupied, of course, the Ottoman Empire, they are the ones that took all of these Armenians, the intellectuals. They started marching through these death camps. And during a 3-year period, more than 1.5 million Armenians were slaughtered by the Turks. And to this day, the United States of America does not recognize the Armenian genocide. What does that mean for the more than 40,000 plus Armenians who live here in the Central Valley? Many have roots back to Armenia, their ancestry, of course. Many have taken trips back there to the old country to find out what life is like there now, and some gruesome, graphic pictures, as you see here, from the Armenian genocide, 1915 to 1918. So many were slaughtered. And earlier this year here in the city of Fresno, at Fresno State, we saw the unveiling, finally, of that statue, the Armenian statue that represents the genocide that took place 100 years ago. And there were so many at that ceremony. Joseph Castro, the president at Fresno State, of course, doing the unveiling, doing the honors. And for the Armenians who live here in the Central Valley, this really is painful video to watch. It's painful to think about. It's painful to talk about because many here had relatives who not only survived the genocide, but were ancestors and relatives who were actually killed in the genocide. Not only killed, they were slaughtered. The intellectuals, the men, the women, the children. It was a generation that was nearly completely wiped out. All right, live in our studio right now is Jane Kardashian. You may know her here in the city of Fresno. She is a well-known surgeon, but she wrote this book, Armenia, A Pictorial Journey. She went to Armenia to find out what the homeland is all about and what it's like. She took pictures there. We'll talk to Jane. You can call in at 436-MeTV, option 11 here on the program. We'll talk about the genocide. We'll talk about the book. We'll talk about when and if the United States will ever recognize the Armenian genocide. Do they have the political will to do so? You're welcome to call in. We've talked about this topic many times. We've had Stephanie Berusian on this program 2 or 3 times. In fact, we had her on this year. She took a trip to Armenia recently and came back and put together a 5-part series for KC24. You may have seen that. We played a portion of it here on our program, and you may want to call in as well today to reflect on the past year on what the genocide has meant to you. It's something that's not going to go away. I mean, eventually, after you and I are all gone, it'll be the 140th anniversary, then the 150th, and the 200th. It'll go on and on and on. So how do we get past this? We'll talk to Jane about that and to you in just a moment after this from Affordable Walk-In Bathtubs. That's our sponsor today. We thank them for that. Back in just a moment.
Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the KitchenAid appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Save big with KitchenAid. Right now, get up to a $1,000 prepaid MasterCard when you purchase select KitchenAid appliances. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
When you're considering the relaxing and healthy benefits of a walk-in bathtub, call Affordable Walk-In Bathtubs in Fresno at 977-3104. Surround yourself with the relaxing jet-generated massaging effects of an affordable walk-in bathtub. We have a wide range of design and pricing options to match your taste and budget, and financing is available. Call 977-3104 or go to affordablewalkinbathtubs.net.
And right now, you can save $1,000 on your new walk-in bathtub. Just go to affordablewalkinbathtubs.net, print out your $1,000 rebate coupon, and after you've decided which walk-in bathtub you want at our already discounted prices, present us the coupon or show it to us on your smartphone or tablet for your $1,000 rebate at affordablewalkinbathtubs.net. Give us a call. We're in Fresno at 977-3104.
We are back here on the program, my friends. Connect with me, and we already have a phone call. Can you believe that? Before I even introduce Jane Kardashian, welcome to the program. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Good to see you.
And to you too, John, and thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Let's take this phone call right away. Why don't we do that? Okay, caller, go ahead. What's your question quickly here on the program?
Okay, Jane, let me first say that I'm one of the people that didn't know anything about the genocide. So, and I know a lot of people, especially Hispanics, we're not even aware of that. And but I'm talking about myself. I'm kind of sad, until John showed in his pictures and all that. That why doesn't the government, do something about it as far as, getting involved as far as, doing something for many Armenians that went through that, And I know it's a hard topic to talk about, but what can we do as far as educating our people or any people about it? That's my question.
Thank you very much for the call. Thank you for being so inquisitive about this topic. You don't have to be Armenian to talk about it or think about it. Jane, how do you respond to the caller?
Well, I think it has to do with our country's political lineup of trying to keep Turkey as our ally so that we have seaports in the Mediterranean area. And I don't think that with the present people in the White House that they will, at this point in time, recognize the Armenian genocide. Now, that is somewhat disappointing to many of the Armenians in the Valley and throughout the diaspora, especially in the United States, when we were promised that the genocide would be recognized by the present president, and he has refused to do that. But I think it has to do, again, with, the placing of military bases in Turkey and supposedly Turkey being our ally, although they haven't really shown that.
When did the president promise that he would recognize the genocide? Because it takes an act of Congress, and then the president also has to sign off on it.
Well, as he was campaigning, when he actually was, before he became president of the United States, that was one of his promises he made to on his campaign trail.
Yeah, and so you remember that. That must have been
Yes.
back in 2007, 2008.
And Actually, it was during his first campaign.
Yeah, that's when it would have been, yeah.
So a lot of, he got a lot of the Armenian votes that way.
Yeah. And do you think that, in your opinion, I know you talk to many people in the Armenian community, and of course Los Angeles has a tremendous Armenian population down there. I mean, the numbers are staggering down there compared to Fresno. I think in Fresno we have like roughly 46,000 or over 40,000 plus, which is a lot. But what's your sense about what the Armenian community can do to rally and raise the flag and make Washington aware of what they need to do?
Well, they tried to do that already in Los Angeles. They had marches, and they did that in Manhattan as well. But it's on deaf ears. The government, like I said, wants to maintain their relationship with Turkey, and they don't want to do anything to jeopardize that.
And why won't the Turks recognize it at this point, in your judgment?
I don't know. The Turkish people are different. They have different beliefs. It's known at this point that a lot of the problems with ISIS are being backed by Turkey. Why do they do the things that they do? I don't know. I don't think like a Turkish person, so I can't really answer that question.
Yeah, when it's so obvious, looking at the films and all the witnesses that were there that saw the genocide take place, why do you think Turkey still is in denial? I mean, with all this historical data and facts.
I think they're afraid that they will be made to give things back, like our historic lands.
Or they'll have to pay
restitution. Just as the Germans had to pay restitution to the Jewish people.
And we had to pay restitution, of course, to the Japanese for the internment camps during World War II.
And so once this year goes by, which is the 100-year anniversary, they probably won't have to because the statute of limitations will have run out. And so that may be why they're not recognizing it.
Hey, we've only got about a minute left. I got to take a commercial break here, but I want to ask you something about your book, and this is the book here. We'll put some pictures up later about what the book is all about, but just for now, just stay on me just for a second here, because I want to read just a little passage out of your book. It says, and this is written by, not written, but actually the words spoken by Pope John Paul II, now deceased, as you know. And here's what he says about Armenia, and I'm quoting now: "Sacrifice, an inseparable part of Armenian history. I long for the day when I kiss the Armenian land, which has been warmed by the blood of so many victims." Is he talking about the genocide?
Absolutely.
And so he recognized the genocide.
Absolutely. And so have many other scholars. But, the people that have to recognize it haven't, and that's the president of our country and the Turks themselves.
Well, even Pope Francis, I believe it was earlier this year, correct me if I'm wrong, came out and acknowledged the genocide in front of, I believe, some Armenian bishops. Am I correct about that?
You're very correct about that. And in fact, most of the countries of the world have recognized the Armenian genocide. The only ones that I know that have not are the United States.
Hang on, caller.
And Israel.
Israel won't recognize it either.
No.
Yeah, I wonder if they ever will.
And of course, Turkey.
Yeah. Okay, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question. I understand that our government's wanting to pressure Turkey to, or the Armenian community is wanting to pressure Turkey to talk about their genocide, but our country has never talked about the genocide that we had against the Native Americans. We really don't talk about that, and that never comes up. So, how are we going to pressure other governments to talk about their wrongs when we won't talk about ours?
Well, let me ask you, sir, do you think that the Armenian genocide should be recognized by the United States?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But I also think that the United States should take the responsibility for the genocide that they did upon the Native Americans.
Right. Do you think the United States of America should apologize to Native Americans as well?
I'd at least recognize the atrocities that they did to the Native Americans, just as they're expecting Turkey to accept the responsibilities of the genocide that they did amongst the Armenian community.
Right. Okay, that's a fair argument. I appreciate the call very much. Jane, what do you think?
I think that's a fair argument, but we're dealing with the same government, so they're not recognizing either.
Yeah,
so,
they're not. They're not.
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. All right, we're talking with Jane Kardashian. She is not only a surgeon, we'll get into that a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about her background, but now, hey, she's an author too. She's written this book and took many pictures when she was back in Armenia, back in the old country, as they call it. That's, at least, you know, my ancestors, they come from Greece, and that's what we call it, the old country. Went back to the old country. Okay, well, that's what Jane did. She went back to the old country. And this is a book that she came back with, good for your coffee table, good for a holiday gift. As a matter of fact, we'll talk about where you can buy the book and the content of the book as well. Back in just a moment, 436-MeTV option 11. Also, if you want to chime in on the genocide, feel free, 436-MeTV option 11. Affordable walk-in bathtubs. He is our sponsor today here on the program.
When you're considering the relaxing and healthy benefits of a walk-in bathtub, call Affordable Walk-in Bathtubs in Fresno at 977-3104. Surround yourself with the relaxing jet-generated massaging effects of an affordable walk-in bathtub. We have a wide range of design and pricing options to match your taste and budget, and financing is available. Call 977-3104 or go to affordablewalkinbathtubs.net.
And right now, you can save $1,000 on your new walk-in bathtub. Just go to affordablewalkinbathtubs.net, print out your $1,000 rebate coupon, and after you've decided which walk-in bathtub you want at our already discounted prices, present us the coupon or show it to us on your smartphone or tablet for your $1,000 rebate at affordablewalkinbathtubs.net. Give us a call. We're in Fresno at 977-3104.
Back here on the program, Affordable Walk-in Bathtubs will be our sponsor for the next year here, and we thank them for that. They're a sponsor now, so if you want to call them, you can check out the commercial that runs throughout this program today and throughout MeTV network here Monday through Friday, or is it Monday through Saturday? I'm looking at Jane as if she knows the answer to that. Okay, so Jane Kardashian is our guest here on the program today, and we have a couple of email questions before we get to the book, and I do want to get to the pictures of that book because they're great stuff. It's great stuff. Did President Harry Truman push to recognize the genocide? I thought he had, but I don't know the answer totally to that.
I don't know the complete answer to that, and I'm certainly not an expert on the history of the Armenian genocide. But I think he did indirectly push for it, but it got nowhere.
Okay, here's another great email question. It says, and you being Armenian could easily answer this, and maybe even answer not only for yourself, but your husband and all your relatives. If the U.S. ever recognizes the genocide, would reparations have to be included from Turkey?
Classically, reparations have been made to any group that has been discriminated against or genocide committed against, such as we did make reparations to the Japanese during World War II, and Germany had to make reparations to the Jewish people. I, at this point, am after something more than something material.
How
I'm
important
after something
is it, though?
more important than something material. I want this to be recognized.
You don't want a check.
I don't want a check. I want the Turkish government to recognize that they committed these atrocities.
Would it mean more to you if somebody from the Turkish government called you personally and said, Jane, I'm sorry, we recognize it, rather than them sending a $50,000 check?
To me, yes. But, you know, I might have a different viewpoint than other people, but
there's a map of the area there, by the way, just in case you wondered. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
I personally am after something bigger than money at this point.
Yeah, and that looks like some of the death marches that took place during the genocide. There's some of those red blotches and red spots there. It's where some of the...
Well, it wasn't just a death march. These people were made to watch horrible, horrible things, like children being buried and the earth just shaking from the children trying to get out. You know, there were atrocities. There's no other word for it.
Yes.
And as far as I'm concerned, somebody, especially our government, should recognize it.
Yeah.
I feel more importantly about our government recognizing it than Turkey.
Yeah. Another email question. If the genocide recognition happens, would it likely come from a Democratic point of view, or would it be somebody in the White House who would be a Republican, in your estimation?
I don't
That's
know.
an email question, by the way, not mine.
I don't know the answer to that question, and I think...
What's more likely? Maybe GOP, Democratic? I don't know. That's a toughie, huh?
That is a toughie because I think traditionally the United States won't recognize it because, like I said, they have these naval bases. It's too political. And even if someone promises it, I don't know that they can actually deliver that promise because
once they get in,
once they get in, if they're going to lose the naval bases in Turkey, that's huge.
Yeah.
We have no foothold in that part of the world.
See, it's like
militarily.
It's like President Obama campaigned on immigration for Hispanics, and he hasn't come through.
Right.
Same thing.
You know, unfortunately, what you say and what you can do are two different things. So.
Yeah. Hey, another email question before we get to your book here. In your guest's opinion, can the President Obama in this case, pull an 11th hour switch before he leaves office and by executive order proclaim that the genocide actually occurred and we recognize it?
Well, we already know that President Obama can and does do whatever he wants to do. So yes, he can do it. Will he do it? I doubt it.
At the 11th hour?
Yes.
Pull the switch?
Yeah, I doubt it. So it's wishful thinking.
All right. We have 14 pictures from your book. I want to put picture number 1 up there, and I want to keep that up there. We're going to go through this slowly and methodically. Don't just zip through them. Okay, what's that photo there?
That is a picture of the Holy Mother of God Church, which is actually architecturally interesting because it's actually sitting over the entrance to the main complex or monistic complex of Datev. Now
where, and see, I'm not familiar with Armenia. I'm sorry. I mean, I've seen a map there, but where is this church located? What city?
It's not located in a city.
Okay, it's out in the country.
It's out in the country. In fact,
what's the closest city?
I would guess Goris, because we overnighted by Goris.
Yeah.
But
and what sits around this church here? What's around there?
Well, it's absolutely nothing. It's so inaccessible that they built the longest cable car to be able to access this in the world. So many of these monasteries were built in areas that were not around civilization so that the Armenian religious men could concentrate on, you know, writing manuscripts or whatever they were trying to learn at the time.
Yeah, they wanted total isolation.
They wanted isolation, not to be distracted from, you know, secular things.
Yeah, let's go picture number 2. We'll go to the next one. And oh my goodness, what a beautiful shot. That's gorgeous.
Okay.
Where is that and what is that?
That is the actual entire monistic complex of Datev, and it's overlooking the Vorotin and Datev River gorges. And just behind that complex is that long cable car, which you can now use to access this this site. And prior to that, it was a very bumpy, windy road, so it really was very inaccessible.
How long did it take you to get up there? I'm going to leave that picture up there. It'll be the last one we show until we go to break. Leave that photo up there. How long did it take you to get to that spot?
Well, I actually had to climb up, you know, the side of a mountain, and it was about a 45-minute hike with camera equipment and a tripod to be able to get that aerial view.
Wow. It really is worth buying the book to see some of these photos. And we'll get out of that. Let's go to break now. We will go to break, and we'll come back and show some more pictures. But where can they buy the book?
Well, right now, to keep the price of the book down, I considered putting it on Amazon, but it made the price of the book very high.
How much is it?
The book through me is $75.
Okay.
And it is a hardback book, and it's printed on very high quality paper.
Yes.
I have a degree in fine art photography, and I will not show my work on paper that will not show off my work well. So if they buy the book through me, it's $75. If I put it on Amazon, they're going to put it up at another third of that, which is going to put it over $100.
Okay.
So I would just say you can buy it through me, through my office, and if you just call 435-0337, then you should be able to get a copy of it.
Okay, we'll do. Jane Kardashian's here. The book is about Armenia, a pictorial journey through that country. We'll talk about that and much more. The genocide, if you want to talk about that, 436-MeTV, option 11. Back in just a moment.
Hello, I'm John Walsh. The Justice Network is seen here in Fresno and made possible by the Ventura Broadcasting Company. To see how law enforcement all across Central California are fighting crime, watch Local Choice with Austin Reed, where you'll see interviews and special reports with those who keep us safe every day. Local Choice with Austin Reed, daily on the Justice Network, Fresno, exclusively on KVBC Channel 13.5.
When you're considering the relaxing and healthy benefits of a walk-in bathtub, call Affordable Walk-in Bathtubs in Fresno at 977-3104. Surround yourself with the relaxing jet-generated massaging effects of an affordable walk-in bathtub. We have a wide range of design and pricing options to match your taste and budget, and financing is available. Call 977-3104 or go to affordablewalkinbathtubs.net.
And right now, you can save $1,000 on your new walk-in bathtub. Just go to affordablewalkinbathtubs.net, print out your $1,000 rebate coupon, and after you've decided which walk-in bathtub you want at our already discounted prices, present us the coupon or show it to us on your smartphone or tablet for your $1,000 rebate at affordablewalkinbathtubs.net. Give us a call. We're in Fresno at 977-3104.
Another mobilizing force that has unified the country for centuries is the Armenian Church. Armenia was the first nation to declare Christianity its official religion in 301 AD. Today, incredible cathedrals and monasteries dot the countryside, perched above breathtaking views or nestled in rough, mountainous hideaways. Powerful connections to a proud past. Traveling outside the capital Yerevan, we find one of the church's crown jewels, Gegard Monastery, a 13th century architectural wonder carved right out of the surrounding mountainside.
You can feel the energy there. Meanwhile, which is very calm and there's huge energy there.
Our guide through Gegard is Mirushan Minashian, a young architect in awe of its complex beauty.
For me as an architect, it's incredible to imagine to carve out something like this, even with today's equipment, the advanced technologies, it's like almost impossible. I'm really proud of the people who did it, and I'm pretty much sure they had a very big vision. As you can see, This is a carved from inside the stone, and you can see how perfect they imagined the dimensions and how accurate they did everything.
Simply amazing, Jane, that ancient monastery. You went there, you saw that. You know, we think things in this country are old, and then we go to England, we think things are, but you're talking about a monastery that was built when? Just like maybe a couple of hundred years after Christ?
Actually, that monastery that was just shown is Gerhard, and it was built or established in the 4th century A.D.
Yeah, there you go.
By the person who brought Christianity to Armenia, Grigor Lusavorich, or Saint Gregory the Illuminator.
Mm-hmm.
And that monastery was eventually plundered by the Muslims in 943. So the original monastery, or is not what you're seeing. You're really seeing what was established in the 11th to the 13th century that you saw on the
but
tape.
it wasn't the one that was originally established in the 4th century.
Right. What you saw there
This
was
is the
established.
rebuilt version.
It's the rebuilt version, which was established in the 11th to the 13th century. Now, interestingly, many of the chapels and churches within that monistic complex are actually carved out of the of the stone of the mountain.
Yeah.
So, can you imagine carving? And it's such intricate, beautiful carving. It's like artwork by hand with the tools that they had at that time. So
beautiful to see. I mean, it's like when I went to, and I don't want to take away from anything, but it's like when you go, and I have not been to Armenia, but I've been to Greece, and just many of the things there that are older than dirt. I mean, they date back before the time of Christ. It's amazing to see those things. Like the Parthenon, for example. I had just one. I'm sure there are many sites like that in Armenia too. And here's an email question: does Armenia have a World Heritage Site?
Yes, in fact, that area that we were just looking at, Gerhard, was made a World Heritage Site in 2000. There's also Zavartnots, which is another site of a former cathedral. That was also made a World Heritage Site in 2000. Sanahin Monastery and Hachbat Monastery were made World Heritage Sites in 1996. And I think they may be making some additional World Heritage Sites with Karahanj, or possibly a cave village which resembles Cappadocia, Hansaresk.
Okay, one more quick question, and we got to get back to the photos here, because before I run out of time here, does your guest, another email question, did your guest lose loved ones in the genocide?
Well, fortunately for me, my family roots caught wind that there was going to be a genocide. And the genocide, or the discrimination against Armenians, actually began in the late 1800s. And so we actually left, or my family actually left Armenia by the late 1800s. So we did not, but my husband definitely did.
Yeah.
His grandmother actually carried his father on her back over the Syrian desert.
Jeez.
So,
wow.
Yes.
Yeah, and we saw that. Put that map up just again, just for a moment, and we'll kind of see the proximity. There's Turkey up on the far left to the west, and Armenia there. And so the Syrian desert kind of in the middle there, that's where all of the massacres and the torture and the killings happened, Jane, as you well know, but treacherous terrain in that area.
Well, a lot of them died of starvation, disease. You know, they didn't really have anything to go on to live. And so...
you wonder how some survived. You wonder how any survived. I mean, under those conditions, could you and I survive that? You know, you just don't know what the human body could take until you actually experience it.
Well, I will say it certainly did separate out the wheat from the chaff in terms of who's strong and who's not.
The Armenian people are very strong, and the Armenian genocide proves it.
Absolutely. And in fact, our own native son, William Saroyan, made a very valid comment that it's naturally Armenian to study, to learn, to invent, to give. And we have given back to the world so many important things. I don't know whether or not people know it, but the MRI machine that is used for medical diagnostic purposes was created by an Armenian doctor, Dr. Darmadian.
Okay.
And the list goes on and on. I mean, there's many, many things that Armenians have contributed, and that's why Armenians should be recognized and should go on as a race.
Well, one thing I will say, too, about the Armenian culture, it's beautiful in nature, there's no question about it, but you don't see marches and demonstrations in the street with violence, and that shows the character of the Armenian people. Yeah, there are demonstrations, there are protests, but not with violence.
Well, even the Armenian flag of the present Republic of Armenia has within it the tricolor. One of the colors is blue, which actually symbolizes the Armenian people's desire to live under peaceful blue skies.
Yeah.
And there are different ethnic groups within Armenia that the Armenian people do tolerate very well.
Yeah.
They live with them side by side peacefully.
Sure. Okay, let's. We've already put up 2 pictures from the book. Let's go to picture number 3, a picture that we haven't seen before, and we'll go through these one by one methodically. That almost looks like a miniature version of the Parthenon right there, a little bit. A lot of similarities there. Tell us what we're looking at there, and what a beautiful picture.
This is actually Garni Temple, and this is about 20 miles from the capital of Yerevan. It is Armenia's only Greco-Roman style building, and
that looks like a painting.
Yes, it is absolutely beautiful. It's actually a temple that was built to the sun god of Mithra, and there are actual associated baths in the same area. So the area in the foreground is actually the remains of a four-asp church, or the Holy Zion Church. So you've got the Greek and the Christian, the pagan and the Christian right next to each other.
It's okay. Not a bad photo. I'll tell you what, I'll take that any day of the week. It's beautiful. We're looking at pictures out of Jane Kardashian's book, A Pictorial History and Journey of Armenia. We'll go to the next photo here. Ooh, another beauty, Jane. What is it?
This is the inside of Gerhard Monastery, which is actually famous for the relics that it housed. In fact, it housed the spear that wounded Christ on the cross.
Oh.
So all of these are hand-carved crosses within the natural rock. And it's a passage.
Dating back when?
This is dating back to probably the 11th to the 13th century.
My goodness, wow. Okay, next photo. I could sit here all day and look at these. What's this here?
That is actually entrance to the monastic complex of Gerhard. And you can see that this is it's in a beautiful surrounded, isolated area, as most Armenian churches are.
Is Armenia like Greece in a lot of ways, in that there are, I mean, I went to Greece, there it seems, I'm exaggerating, but it seems like there's a church at every corner. There are so many churches in Greece. Is Armenia filled with churches like that too?
Armenia is filled with a lot of churches, and the Armenian people, I would say the overwhelming majority of them, are very, very devout and hold their faith high.
Yeah.
It's very important to them.
Yeah. All right, photo number, whatever it is, I lost track now, but we'll put the next one up, number 6 or whatever it is. Okay.
Again, this is the inside of Gerhard Monastery, and you can see the religious activity that goes on to this day. There was never a time where this temple was empty, and so it was a challenge for me to take this picture, but I wanted
What kind of camera did you use?
I was using a 5D Mark III Canon.
Okay.
And of course this is on a tripod, and basically just sat there and took shots until I was happy with it.
Yeah, an absolutely beautiful photo. We'll break away from that photo and take another break, and we'll come back and show more photos from the book written by Jane Kardashian. It's called Armenia, A Pictorial Journey, and it's Jane F. Kardashian, by the way, in case you want to know. No relation to the Kardashians, though, right?
No, but I am famous in my own right.
No,
because,
I know. But you don't have your own TV show or anything like that, and you don't have their money, by the way.
Oh, well, money isn't everything.
No, I'm just teasing you.
I know.
I'm teasing you because the Kardashians, I mean,
Well, if
I
I,
don't know,
want a
they're
dinner
world
reservation,
famous.
well, if I want a dinner reservation, then I'll say I'm
Have they?
related.
Let me ask you something about the Kardashians before we go here. Are you? What do you think of them as being Armenian? What do you think of the Kardashians? Have they done anything to the Armenian culture? Have they added to it, or have they tarnished it a little bit with their antics?
Well, I think they have done both. Okay.
All right.
So I think it's fair to say that they have different ethical, beliefs than the majority of Armenians. But then they did go to Armenia and make the genocide more publicly known. Let's face it, Kim Kardashian is a well-known public figure, and by her going there, she brought Armenia to the forefront of the world.
And that's a good thing.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah. All right. I've never followed the Kardashians. It's not my thing, but I know my kids know about the Kardashians. Anyway, the book is here, Armenia, and you can call Jane at what number?
435-0337.
You got it, to get the book, and you can take a look at this pictorial account of Armenia for yourself. Back after this from Affordable Walk-In Bathtubs.
When you're looking for KitchenAid innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, we'll help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified KitchenAid appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
When you're considering the relaxing and healthy benefits of a walk-in bathtub, call Affordable Walk-In Bathtubs in Fresno at 977-3104. Surround yourself with the relaxing jet-generated massaging effects of an affordable walk-in bathtub. We have a wide range of design and pricing options to match your taste and budget, and financing is available. Call 977-3104 or go to affordablewalkinbathtubs.net.
And right now, you can save $1,000 on your new walk-in bathtub. Just go to affordablewalkinbathtubs.net, print out your $1,000 rebate coupon, and after you've decided which walk-in bathtub you want at our already discounted prices, present us the coupon or show it to us on your smartphone or tablet for your $1,000 rebate at affordablewalkinbathtubs.net. Give us a call. We're in Fresno at 977-3104.
And of course, our program today is sponsored by the Affordable Walk-In Bathtubs. Let's hope I don't need one of those for another, let's see, how old am I now? I can't think. Anyway,
About
let's
100 years.
100 years. 100 years. Okay, thank you, Jane. I appreciate that. It's a little reinforcement there. Anyway, let's pick up on the next photo because we got to get through these. It's all these photos that you're seeing are in this book of Armenia right here. What is this? Another beautiful shot. It looks, all these pictures, they look like paintings.
Well, I do have, like I say, a painterly style in my photographs, but this particular photograph is actually a church and fortress complex. The church off to the left was built in 1026.
It's a combination?
It's a combination. So the little structure on the left is a church that was built in 1026. The fortress was actually built in the, I believe, 11th century, and it actually stood Mongol invasions, but was eventually deserted by 1403. It's called Ambert. The whole complex is called Ambert, and it sits on on the slopes of Mount Aragats, which is Armenia's tallest mountain at this time.
You know, you look at something like this, and you're talking 11th century, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, how did they possibly build something like this in the 11th century? How did they do it? How did they do it?
Well, I think Armenians, like I say, were smart. They knew how to move things around so that they didn't get hurt, and they managed to build these things. I don't know exactly how, but they managed.
Amazing, huh? You think about it?
Well, I was constantly amazed every day on my trip.
Yeah, I mean, today they have cranes, they have this, they have that. They easily build that in like one day probably. But back then, everything was done by hand.
Absolutely.
You know, no machines, no nothing. And so next photo, please. And I think we have about 5 more to show here, and we can go through it. What's that?
That's Salim Caravanserai. It's along the Salim Pass on the old Silk Road. It was built in 1332 by Prince Shazar Orbelian, and it is the best preserved caravanserai in Armenia, if not in the world. Caravanserais were traditionally used as inns along the old Silk Road to offer hospitality to people that were traveling that road for trade purposes.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is a very good example of medieval Armenian secular architecture.
So today, in today's language, in today's terms, it would be very equivalent to a pit stop?
Exactly, or a little motel.
Okay, a little motel. All right, next photo. Oh, that's nice. A farmer, huh?
Yes. Along the old Silk Road, you could see many shepherds tending to their sheep, and
Yep.
they're Armenian people are very hardworking people, and this is just one of the things that they, one of the occupations they have: sheep herding, agriculture.
Yep.
So.
All right, next photo.
Okay, this is a Molokhan village. It's not an Armenian village. It's actually a Russian village. But Molokhans were a sect of Russian people that were actually exiled from Russia for not obeying the tenets of the Russian Orthodox Church. So this is an example of Armenian people's desire to live peacefully among different types of groups.
Okay, next photo.
This is Karahanj. This is a very interesting area. It's actually 7,500 years old. It predates Stonehenge by 3,500 years and the Egyptian pyramids by 3,000 years. This is actually an astronomical observatory which is constructed of many upright stones, 84 of which have these holes in it to align the movement of the sun, moon, and stars.
So these are man-made.
These are man-made, these holes, absolutely.
7,500 years old.
It's 7,500 years old.
Older than the pyramids.
Older than the pyramids. 3,000 years older than the pyramids in Egypt.
All right. Go ahead, next one. And here?
And this is just another view of Karahanj showing the circle of stones, and 84 of which of these stones have the holes to align the sun, star, and the moon.
Wow, amazing. Is that the last of the photos or one more? One more photo, and here we go. The last one, Jane.
Okay, this is Saint Mary's Church.
Almost looks like the first one we showed.
Yeah,
same photo.
This is the same photo. Yes.
Yeah, only a different viewpoint there, a little bit.
So it's Saint Mary's Church over the entrance to the Tatev monastic complex.
Yeah. Okay, so those are the photos out of the book, all 14 of them that you saw there. It's called Armenia, A Pictorial Journey by Jane F. Kardashian. You can buy that book by calling her. We'll give that phone number out one more time. Let's go to Armenia Travel, no sound, number 1. It's kind of a travel log through the country of Armenia. You went there. How many times have you been there, by the way?
I've been there 4 times, but this was the last time that I went that I took the pictures.
All right, let's roll the videotape and take a look at a tour of Armenia. What is this right here we're looking at?
This looks like the flea market in Yerevan.
Okay, and you've been there, right?
Yes, I have. And you could buy just about anything there. It's amazing the artistic stuff that the Armenian people make.
What's it like to go to Armenia? What should people expect?
I think that they should expect a modern European city in Yerevan. In fact, Yerevan is a member of Eurocities and was the 2012 World Book Capital by UNESCO. So, but outside of Yerevan, they should expect a more provincial type of country with little villages and people that are very gracious and giving.
And a lot of things you see here in the marketplace. Is there a lot of poverty? Are there still a lot of people looking for work? Are there still people hurting for money? Are there people starving? Not enough food to eat? Is there a shortage of food? A shortage of jobs?
I would say yes to all of those, and that's true of any country. Unfortunately, governments tend to rob the people, which hurts the country.
Yeah.
And yes, there is poverty.
Is it safe to travel to Armenia?
Absolutely. It's much safer than many other countries in the world.
It is safe to go there, despite
Yes.
what's going on around the world with ISIS and some of the terrorism.
Well, at this point, I'd have to say it's safe. I don't know what's going to happen in the future.
Right. And how much time do we have left in the program? 1 minute? Okay, we have 2 minutes. Let's roll the next video. We have 2 travel videos. Let's roll the second one that we haven't seen. No sound. We'll go through this again. And when were you in Armenia last? There's another pictorial view
In the
there.
summer of 2014, which is when I took the pictures in the book. So
Right.
those pictures reflect modern day Armenia.
Yeah. And
What's
and
there?
this is, what city is this?
This again is Yerevan.
Yerevan. Okay. And a modern day city.
Modern day Euro city. It's a European city by every standard. They have every possible shop there, from Gucci to Louis Vuitton.
Wow. That's amazing. But if you go in the countryside, you paint
It's
a
very
much,
provincial.
much different picture of
Yes.
what the country is all about. And in Yerevan, what kind of industry is there mainly?
I would say Yerevan is the cultural, so artistic and administrative capital. Industry, I would have to say cognac.
Okay.
It's not a very industrial country.
All right. And we have how much time left, boys? We got 1 minute. Okay. And you would recommend anybody who wants to take the tour of Armenia to just go?
Yes, at this point I would say it's safe and it's extremely interesting because Armenia has the most outdoor archaeological monuments in the world in, the area that it's in. So you don't really have to travel a lot to see a lot.
Yeah. And it's a small country,
It's
too.
a small country,
And you can,
but
you
and the
can
people
travel
you can-
anywhere?
yes, you can travel anywhere. It's very free, and I think that the people there are very, very hospitable. So you're not going to run into any kind of people that are going to give you trouble.
Okay, here's the book one more time. Your phone number to buy the book is what, quickly?
435-0337.
Okay, thanks for coming in today. And if you want to pressure the government, just write to your congressman or congresswoman and tell them that they want that you want them to pass to a resolution, a bill that would recognize the Armenian genocide. It's the only thing we can do. Write or telephone your congressman. All right.
Thank you, John.
Jane Kardashian, thank you so much. A wonderful book. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Have a wonderful Christmas and a Happy New Year to you.
And to you as well, and everyone out there.
Thank you. All right. That's going to do it for us here on Me TV Fresno. Connect with me, and we're going to see you Monday. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. We're back here on Monday with Bradley Hart to talk about the presidential campaign. See you then. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.